So I meant to make this video back when it was announced, because I haven't even said anything about Persona 6 yet. And we got Persona 4's trailer, and I got super busy that week. And I made a video on that, and then I made a video on the Persona 4 Revival broadcast, because that came out of nowhere, and I wanted to get that up as quick as possible. But I do have some thoughts on Persona 6. Now, I'm not going to give any kind of like theories or anything right now. I want to wait for more information, but there is one controversial, I say controversial, it's controversial to me, aspect to Persona 3 that I do want to talk about. The social link system. It's in the core of Persona's DNA. And I'm going on a limb here. Like, I do not have a script for this video, so if I get a little all over the place, I apologize. The point being with the social link system is I personally have played every single Persona game since, my first one was actually portable. Well, I guess my first was for the original, but portable was the first one I owned. So I've gone through this social link system through many years. Now, if you're a fan of Persona 5, like you started with 5, and this is kind of a new series for you, you might not feel what I'm about to say. You might not feel this way. You might be like, I'm just ready for a new Persona. And I think that's why Persona 6 is going to hit. Because Persona 6 is kind of, for a lot of people, the sequel. There's a lot of people who started with 5, because that was its kind of really big breakaway game. And they haven't had a sequel, and they're kind of just hungry for Persona 6, and they haven't really played 3 or 4. Maybe they played 3 Remake, 4 Remake, I don't know. But I do think there's a lot of people who are just kind of waiting for Persona 6. A good amount of people, to the point that when Persona 6 comes out, I imagine it's going to do really, really well. But if it is a extremely similar game to the previous Persona games, us Persona veterans might kind of feel like, all right, it's good, but we kind of wanted them to try something more. Hopefully that's what they do, because that's kind of where I'm at. And how that links back to the social link system that I mentioned. I think this is the biggest one. There's not a lot. When I play Persona 5 Royal, Reload, Revival, soon to come out, I assume will have this same feel. There's not a lot for me to complain about and change. We're kind of at the point where, like, the magic of Persona being extremely unique is gone for me. I love the series. It's my favorite. Shin Megami Tensei. For those who don't know, Shin Megami Tensei, Sonic. I'm probably missing some. Those two for sure, my favorite, game franchises. Castlevania's got to be up there. I don't know. Point being, the one system in Persona that's been a mainstay that I feel like needs to change is the social link system. And specifically, not the way that it works and how it levels up your personas and stuff. I think it's still exciting, like when you max out a social link and you can build this new persona. More so this whole guessing game. When you're talking to people, right? And it's like, oh, your friend is like, oh man, I'm really down in the dumps. And then you got to answer these, fucking questions that are like, oh yeah, I feel bad, or oh, you shouldn't feel that way. You get 3 prompts, right? And depending on what prompt you pick depends on how much the social link levels up. And I feel like one of the parts of Persona that's kind of missing is the idea that it is supposed to be role playing, but you're kind of supposed to pick the right answer in these social links. And when Persona 3 and 4 came out, it worked. It was fine. It didn't bother me. Overall, the game was just so unique that it's something that I ignored. When Persona 5 came out, it was the first time that I was kind of I kind of wish they'd do something different with this. And now that Persona 6 is coming out, I'm really, really wishing they overhaul that system just a little. I don't really know what the solution to that is. I could like Arlo style this and like come up with the top of my head, like, how do you fix this? Like, it doesn't even have to be more interactive, although maybe it could be. It's a JRPG. I'm not expecting, like, you know, I don't want them to go too far. Like, reading text and selecting choice responses, you know, is a part of this. I enjoy that. I don't mind that. But I just feel like maybe the answers should carry a little bit more weight. You know what would be really interesting? Here's one idea. Depending on the answers you give, it's not that the person like likes you more or less, but perhaps you could have different pathways. Like, so and they lead to like different types of personas. So like if you're, you know, working with Chie and her social link and like you choose like maybe like, I don't know, more aggressive or different types of answers, when you get to social link 10, you unlock like a certain persona. But then when you do like passive answers or, you know, whatever, charming answers, something like that, it'll lead to a different social link type of pathway. Like, what if your choices actually changed the way that the social links played out? See, that would be interesting, as opposed to this kind of... Now, where do you fit in the whole, like, you know, trying to max out all the social links in 1 year part of that? Like, where's the game there? I'm not sure, because that is the most fun part of the social link. Like, you know, I mean, Sakurai once talked about how he did that when he was playing Persona 5, making Smash Ultimate, and how he was like replaying the game to try to max out all the social. And I was like, yeah, I did the same thing. Like, that is one of the most fun parts. I'm not saying I have the solution. Perhaps that could be another video. I'm not sure if I have the time for that. But I am saying that I do think it's a system that's worth an overhaul, because it's one of the core features of Persona. I mean, it's one of the things that makes Persona, right? Like, when people add a social link system into their game, everyone's like, they're copying Persona, even though, like, even Shin Megami Tensei had done that before Persona, or, like, similar systems. It's just that Persona really fleshed it out, I guess. I don't know. A lot of games do that now, though. And I think that if there was a game who was going to overhaul this social link system, it should be Persona. This is the series that popularized it. We'll go with that. At the very least, it popularized the way that it does it in the modern era. I know that was all very specific, but like, because when like you play Fire Emblem Three Houses and it has something similar, right? Fire Emblem's always had some kind of like social linky kind of system, but it doesn't quite work the same. It's not as fleshed out. And even with Three Houses, people say, like, it's kind of a mix of Persona, you know. So I think Persona should be the ringleader on that, and I'm hoping that Persona 6 can at least change that one feature. I will say, last note on Persona 6, I am very excited. I haven't really delved into too many theories. I know this is my first video post-announcement, and I didn't want it to be negative, but yeah, I will definitely have some more Persona 6 videos here in the future.